Every doctor who told me to change my diet is dead now. Every single one. I had a doctor in 1978 who told me to stop cooking with olive oil because it was too much fat. He died in 1991. Heart attack. I had another doctor in 1985 who told me to eat more margarine because it was healthier than butter. He died in 2003, also heart attack. I had a nutritionist in 1992 who told me to eat less salt and more processed, low-sodium foods from packages. She is dead too. I do not know from what, but she is dead and I am still here, still cooking my own food, still walking to the market, still standing in my kitchen every single day making meals from scratch, the way my mother taught me and her mother taught her. And I am going to tell you exactly what I eat because most of you are killing yourselves with what you put in your mouths and you do not even know it. I came to this country in 1947. I was 23 years old. I came from Calabria, the poorest part of Italy, the part nobody talks about when they talk about Italian food. We did not have money. We did not have fancy restaurants. What we had was the food we grew ourselves and the recipes our mothers taught us. And those recipes kept my grandparents alive into their 90s, kept my mother alive to 94, and have kept me alive longer than anyone in my family ever expected in a country that has tried very hard to kill me with its food. I watch what Americans eat and I want to cry. I see young people eating things that are not food, things that come in bags and boxes and have ingredients you cannot pronounce. I see them drinking chemicals and calling it diet soda. I see them eating bread that could survive a nuclear war because it is so full of preservatives. This is not food. This is poison disguised as convenience. And then these same people wonder why they are tired all the time, why they are sick all the time, why they feel old at 40. I am going to tell you 10 foods. These are the foods that have kept me alive. Not pills, not supplements, not whatever nonsense they are selling you on the television at 3 in the morning. Real food, the kind my mother fed me, the kind I fed my children and my grandchildren, the kind that human beings have been eating for thousands of years before some corporation decided it could make more money selling you garbage. The first one is olive oil. Real olive oil, extra virgin, cold pressed. The kind that tastes green and peppery and burns a little in the back of your throat. Not that clear yellow water they sell in the supermarket for $4. That is not olive oil. That is fraud in a bottle. Real olive oil is the foundation of everything I cook. I use it every single day. I put it on bread. I cook my vegetables in it. I drizzle it on soup before I eat it. My mother used to say that olive oil is liquid gold. She was right. It keeps your blood clean. It keeps your brain working. There is a reason the people who live the longest in the world all come from places where olive oil is in everything. The studies say that people who eat the most olive oil live almost 10 years longer than people who do not. 10 years. That is not nothing. That is 10 more years of watching your grandchildren grow up. The second food is beans. Every kind of bean. White beans, black beans, lentils, chickpeas. I eat beans almost every day. In soup, in salads, mashed with garlic and olive oil. My mother made pasta e fagioli every week. Pasta with beans. Poor people food. Peasant food. The food of people who could not afford meat. And you know what? Those peasants outlived the rich people who ate steak every night. Beans have protein, They have fiber. They fill you up without making you sick. Every single place in the world where people live past 100, they eat beans every day. The scientists call these places blue zones. I call them places where people have not forgotten how to eat properly. The third food is leafy greens. Not iceberg lettuce, that is nothing. That is water shaped like a vegetable. I am talking about real greens: spinach, kale, escarole, broccoli rabe, Swiss chard. When I was a girl in Italy, we would pick wild greens from the hillsides, dandelion greens. We would sauté them in olive oil with garlic and a little crushed red pepper. People today think of dandelions as weeds. We thought of them as medicine, because that is what they are. Greens clean your blood. They keep your bones strong. They keep your mind sharp. I eat greens every single day. If the only vegetable you eat is French fries, you are not eating vegetables. The fourth food is garlic. I put garlic in almost everything I cook. Raw garlic, roasted garlic, garlic sautéed in olive oil until it is golden. My husband Enzo used to joke that I was trying to keep the vampires away. Maybe I was. Maybe the vampires are all the sicknesses that come for you when you get old. Heart disease, cancer, dementia. Garlic keeps them away. The scientists now know what my grandmother knew 100 years ago. Garlic has compounds in it that fight infection, that lower blood pressure, that protect your heart. 1 clove of garlic has more medicine in it than most pills, and it tastes better. The fifth food is tomatoes, cooked tomatoes, not raw. When you cook tomatoes, especially in olive oil, you release something called lycopene. I did not know that word until my grandson told me. But I knew the truth of it long before I knew the science. Cooked tomatoes are in almost everything in Italian cooking. My sauce, my soups, my stews. I make a simple dish of eggs poached in tomato sauce that my children used to beg me for. Tomatoes protect your heart. They protect your eyes. They protect against certain cancers. And they cost almost nothing. You can buy a can of good Italian tomatoes for $2. There is no excuse. The sixth food is nuts. Every day I eat a handful of nuts, almonds mostly, sometimes walnuts. My mother kept a bowl of nuts on the table and we would crack them ourselves. Not the roasted, salted nuts they sell in the store covered in chemicals. Raw nuts, or just lightly toasted. Nuts have fat in them, yes, good fat, the kind your brain needs to keep working. The studies show that people who eat nuts every day live 2 to 3 years longer than people who do not. 2 to 3 years. For a handful of almonds. Why would you not do this? The seventh food is whole grains, real bread, pasta made from real flour, not the white bleached processed stuff they sell everywhere now. When I came to this country, the bread tasted different. Then they started doing things to it to make it last longer on the shelf. They stripped out everything good and left only the garbage. I make my own bread sometimes still. Whole wheat, sometimes sourdough. The bread my mother made. Real bread fills you up. It gives you energy that lasts. It does not spike your blood sugar and then crash you an hour later. I have watched this country become addicted to fake bread and then wonder why everyone is diabetic. The eighth food is fish. I eat fish 2 or 3 times a week. Small fish mostly. Sardines, anchovies, mackerel. The fish that nobody wants because they have bones and they smell strong. Those are the best fish. The fish that are full of oil that keeps your brain working. My husband Enzo loved sardines. We would eat them on crusty bread with a little lemon and olive oil. Simple. Perfect. Good fish is hard to find in this country now. They farm it in tanks and feed it garbage. If you can find wild fish, eat it. Your brain will thank you when you are old and can still remember your own name. The ninth food is wine. Red wine. 1 glass with dinner. Not a bottle. 1 glass. I have had a glass of red wine with dinner almost every night of my adult life. The doctors used to tell me to stop. Now they tell me it was the right thing all along. Red wine has something in it that protects your heart and your blood vessels, but only if you drink a little. If you drink a lot, it does the opposite. This is the problem with Americans. You do not understand moderation. Everything is too much or nothing at all. 1 glass of wine with your meal. That is all. That is enough. The 10th food is fresh fruit. Every day I eat fruit. An orange, some berries, a pear, figs when they are in season. Fruit is sweet, but it is not the same sweet as candy or cake. The sweetness comes with fiber and vitamins and water. It fills you up. It satisfies the craving for something sweet without poisoning you. When my children were young, fruit was their dessert. They did not know there was another option because I did not tell them. They are all in their 60s and 70s now, the ones still alive, and they still eat fruit for dessert. This is how you teach children to eat. You do not give them a choice between apple and cookie. You give them the apple. So there it is. Olive oil, beans, leafy greens, garlic, tomatoes, nuts, whole grains, fish, wine, fruit. 10 foods, nothing complicated, nothing expensive, nothing that requires a subscription or a special delivery or a machine that costs $300. Just real food. The kind of food human beings have eaten for thousands of years. The kind of food my mother and her mother and her mother ate. But I have to tell you something else, because the food is only part of it. I have watched people eat perfectly and still die young because they were miserable. I have watched people eat terribly and live long because they had something to live for. The food matters, but it is not everything. You have to move your body. I walked everywhere my whole life. I did not go to a gym. I walked to the market. I walked to church. I climbed the stairs to my apartment because the elevator was broken half the time. I stood in my kitchen cooking for hours. This is not exercise the way you think of it, but it is movement, constant movement, every day. My daughter Maria died of breast cancer in 2004. She was 58. My son Anthony died of colon cancer in 2012. He was 62. My son Vincent died in a car accident in 2019. He was 68. 3 funerals where I was the mother standing at the grave. I thought each one would kill me. They did not. I kept cooking. I kept eating. I kept walking to the market. Not because I wanted to, because that is what you do. You keep going. There is no other choice. I am 101 years old. I have been cooking in this kitchen for over 50 years, longer than most of you have been alive. I came to this country with nothing but 2 suitcases and my mother's recipes. I raised 5 children in a 2-bedroom apartment. I lost my husband 26 years ago. I have 14 grandchildren and 21 great-grandchildren. I still live alone. I still cook my own meals. I still walk to the market every day, even when my knees hurt so bad I want to scream, because stopping is dying, and I am not ready to die. I am telling you all of this because I want you to understand something. Living this long is not about avoiding death. It is about living, really living, every day. Eating food that tastes good and is good for you. Moving your body because it feels good to move. Being with people because people are what make life worth living. Having something to do that matters to you. Your body was not made to sit in a chair for 8 hours and then sit on a couch for 4 more hours. Your body was made to move. If you do not use it, you lose it. I see people half my age who cannot walk across a room because they stopped moving 20 years ago. That will not be me. You have to have people. I have my family. I have my church. I have my neighbors who check on me even though I tell them I am fine. Human beings are not meant to be alone. I have watched people retire and then die within 2 years because they had no one to talk to and nothing to do. Loneliness kills you. I do not mean you need a romantic partner. I mean you need people in your life who know your name, who care if you wake up in the morning, who would notice if you did not. If you do not have that, you need to find it. Join something, volunteer somewhere, talk to your neighbors. This is not optional. This is survival. You have to have a reason to get up. For me, it is cooking. It is feeding people. It is seeing my great-grandchildren eat the same pasta my grandmother taught me to make. I get up every morning because I have something to do. The day I cannot cook anymore is the day I will probably die, and I have accepted that. But that day is not today, and it was not yesterday, and it will not be tomorrow if I have anything to say about it. I have buried 3 of my children. That is not supposed to happen. You are not supposed to outlive your children, but I have. The food I have told you about will help. It will not guarantee you anything. There are no guarantees. My son Anthony ate well his whole life and still got cancer. My husband Enzo ate everything I cooked and still had a stroke at 82. But they lived well until they did not. And that is all any of us can hope for. To live well until we cannot. To eat well. To love well. To move well. And then, when it is time, to go. I have fed hundreds of people at this table. Children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and neighbors and strangers. I have cooked for funerals and weddings and christenings and just regular Tuesday nights when someone needed a meal. This is what I was put on this earth to do. To feed people. To keep them alive. Now I am trying to feed you, even though you are on the other side of a screen. Even though I will probably never meet you. I am trying to give you what my mother gave me and what her mother gave her. The knowledge of how to eat so that you can live, not just exist. Live. Really live. Take it or leave it, but do not say nobody told you, because I just did. Now, if you will excuse me, I have soup on the stove.